I'm with you. 100%. Great read.
100%. There's been a lot of grumblings that uh maybe even in a replacement for Jersey, but there's been a lot of grumblings from reliable sources that and now I have another source, that they are heavily casting Real Housewives of Rhode Island, that it's in the mix. Now, I don't know if it's going to be all,
Really?
yeah. Oh, look how her New England upbringing
I
is represented. Miss Fraser is awake and alive.
I love a New England vibe.
Now, I don't know if it's going to be called the Real Housewives of Providence, which is a little city, very lovely in Rhode Island. But the thing about Rhode Island is, now I don't want to compare apples to oranges, but I heard that, like they do speak a certain way. We could say in Boston, we park the car in the yard. Philly, yo, man, Philly. We have different accents that are present in Rhode Island. There is that New England, like Pauly D is from Rhode Island. There is that, like, a lot of people have that accent. There's that Jersey-esque accent, even though it's not, because it's Rhode Island. So there are these characters that are over the top that have a Jersey type of affectation to them. So I also have heard that this might be, for a minute, like almost a replacement for
You,
RHONJ.
I'm seeing this more
You
the
see
Real
it.
Housewives of Newport, Rhode Island, because Newport is where films
Hmm.
like The Great Gatsby. Now I'm talking like the original one. I'm not sure if the one with Leonardo DiCaprio was filmed there, but with Robert Redford. I mean, Newport, Rhode Island is
It's a much
opening.
different vibe than I just described, though, darling.
It is. It is. And we know that a lot of times when the women have a lot of money, that doesn't always work.
Because
So,
Newport, just to give everyone the vibe, I guess it is, um,
but it's old money. It's like,
I guess it's, what's
yeah.
the word I'm talking about? I guess it's diversified nowadays more than it ever has been. But it's like a Greenwich, Connecticut. Like that's like Newport, traditionally very white,
I don't think they care
lots of
about
money.
diversity.
No, I mean, I don't,
Well, actually, it's
well,
wrong.
they're
They
gonna say
pretend
they
to.
do.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. I was like, they pretend to.
They
So
pretend to.
they might
Yes.
add a little diversity in there. I think you could find a little diversity. Very interesting. Okay.
Well, my
I
sources
like
tell
it.
me it's not what you're describing, because Newport is very lots of money and do. I heard it's not that. I heard it's more like the Providence, the New Jersey, Pauly D, loud types. Now, I do know someone. Here's the thing. How can I put this nicely? And I love everyone. When people slip into the DMs, I keep everything is confidential until you tell me it's not. I feel sometimes people slip into my DMs and tell me things, and they don't say it's confidential, but it is. But I almost think that they want me to say what is in the DM. So can I be any more vague? Someone has slipped into my DMs to say, my wife is like basically offered the job. Now,
Oh, all right. Well,
here's
this is happening in Providence. Okay. Oh,
well, let's
breaking news here with Miss Yontef.
well, let's back up. Sometimes people do, I think, tell me things for me to repeat it to like get it out there. Like, say you wanted to be on the Housewives, and I put it out there, and then it was like a thing. I don't think that helps you get cast, but you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm like, it was your wife. I was told by someone my wife was just offered. And it's someone we know. It's someone that people do know, actually, like someone in the public eye. So it's kind of like, was your wife, like, if you really are signing a contract and it's confidential, are you really telling me? Because it's not like, Catherine Edwards, who I'm really good friends with, or Allison Dubois, where it's like we're really close and we speak all the time, and I'll take this to the grave. Now, I will take this to the grave, but I just find it like, if you signing this, you can't tell people, and you're telling me. So, like, it really? Now, I'm
Yeah,
not
right.
revealing this because imagine, let's think of some of we don't have to mention any names, But what if they told Sarah Fraser or some of the other podcasters? Would they keep it a secret? So I don't know. Like, are you telling me this because you want me to say it because you want it leaked? Which doesn't mean it's not true, but it's a risky thing if you really have. But it's I have heard from a lot of sources that this Rhode Island, besides this person, is happening, and now someone is telling me my wife has a contract. Has been asked for the housewives, and we have a contract, and I've heard it's the Jersey, the RHONJ version of Rhode Island. That's what I've heard. And it'll be called whatever, Rhode Island, eh, right, probably Rhode Island, Real Housewives, and that this will kind of push everyone off of Jersey. That's what I've heard. That is what I've heard. You heard it.
Wow,
If
wouldn't
it
that be
comes true,
wild?
you've heard it. So your Newport, just for everyone who's listening, when I think
No,
Newport, I think white. I think Kenny Bunkport, the Bushes. Not that there's anything wrong with the Bushes, but I think, old money, a
they're not
darling.
messy. They're not messy. It's
No,
old
they're not
country club
messy.
money and they don't want their
Yes.
stuff out there. Okay, this is
So
very
you
fascinating.
heard it here first.
This is
I've heard it's an
fascinating.
alternative to RHONJ. The person I mentioned who is a public figure, his wife is the New Jersey, the Rhode Island has that accent. So let's see what happens. I heard this from a lot of sources. And now somebody, without me talking about it, is like, hey, guess what? My wife is doing it. I'm like, oh, Jesus, you need to call me. I have to talk to you and give you advice. Don't
Okay,
trust
this is like,
anyone.
yeah, don't trust anyone, right?
There you go,
But
honey.
make a friend and keep a friend at the end. You have to have a friend if
Mhm.
you want to get renewed. Okay,
Mhm.
speaking of casting,
Mhm.
Rhode Shed Productions has put out a notice. They're casting. I loved it. And by the way, last week when we had just gotten off air, Lizzie Savetsky gave an interview to the New York Post and confirmed the N-word story. Remember? So
Mhm.
Lizzie Savetsky filmed, was going to be on the Roni reboot. And then by episode, I don't know, four or a couple months into filming, essentially she confirmed for the very first time that there was this incident prompted by Bryn Whitfield where Bryn had a real problem with the fact that that Lizzie was only matchmaking for Jewish people. Okay, so Savetsky, they kind of had this moment, and Bryn sort of threatened, I think, to basically say like if Lizzie kept it up or something. Do you remember? I don't want to get it out of turn, but something about
No,
hearing
but
the N word and
something to that effect. I know that Uba feels that she is validated now, something to that effect. All I know is I was talking about Lizzie Savetsky when I had Deandra on here. She was in the mix for Real House. Like she was filming Real Housewives of Dallas, the season that never happened. Like they started filming another season of Dallas and are like, we have nothing here. And Savetsky was in that mix filming. I've talked about this on air when I had
yeah,
all these.
I remember
And
that.
then she came here to New York. All I know is, and I haven't really followed it but I know Lizzie is like, I left, she says, because there's so much anti-Semitism in the world, and this scene was going to be edited so that it could have led to more anti-Semitism, and I will not stand for that.